Okay, are you ready? Can we both clap at the same time?
Yeah, I'm ready.
3,
Okay.
2, clap. It's fine. It's just for
You were
audio.
That's so fucking funny. You were like 5 seconds after me.
Because I said I forgot. I counted down wrong. I was gonna count down 3, 2, 1, and then we clap. But then I ended up doing 3, 2, clap, and I was like, she's not gonna clap because I didn't do it properly, so I won't clap. Anyway, welcome to the first episode of What the Fuck is Happening for the New Year.
Oh, okay, we're doing
Appropriately stupid.
Appropriately stupid.
Wow, great title of ep already.
Perfect.
Appropriately
Wow.
stupid.
A great way
Anyway,
to break in the new year, I feel.
true. What? How are you doing, little noodle? A week into January 2022.
Fuck me. Well, almost 2 weeks, really. Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, no. I mean,
You were like, this bitch is a liar.
I'm fine. I feel like, I don't know. I just hate end of year culture, you know, because everyone's like,
Right, why?
so hopeful, and thank God 2020 and 2021 are done. Thank God, next year's looking up with vaccines and all this stuff and all that stuff. And it's been like 10 days of the new year, and I'm like, nothing's changed. If anything, shit's got worse, you know? We've gotten rid of some problems, and then it's like a hydra. You cut off the head of one problem, and 10 grow back in its place. You know?
Yeah, no, you are 100% correct. It's a really interesting, I don't know why people do it. I don't know if they genuinely believe that it's a new year, new outlook, but it's like, girl, there is 1 minute difference between
Literally.
2021 and 2022. Like,
Literally.
nothing is exactly, your life's the same. You're not, anyway.
Maybe we should get like a positive person on the phone. Ask them. What's it like being an optimist?
No, we don't deal with optimism here. We deal with realism. Okay?
Fair.
As a pop culture podcast.
Wait, okay, well what do you view yourself as? Optimist, realist, pessimist? None, some, mix?
I feel like I am a mix of a realist and an optimist, but more often kind of falling on the side of optimist, if that makes sense.
It doesn't
Like,
make
I'm
sense.
not so much of an optimist that I'm an idiot and unrealistic, but I'm also very much a cup half full type of person.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And you also read every
about you?
Optimist to filth. I
Simultaneously.
Yeah, exactly. I would say I'm a mix, because I'd say when it comes to general stuff, I'd say I'm a realist /
Yeah.
a realist. Then when it comes to myself, I'd say I'm a realist / pessimist.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to friends or strangers or other people's lives, I'm an optimist. I'm like, yes, queen, work, legend, go off, queen. You know?
Slay.
Slay. Exactly. You know? I don't know. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I totally understand.
Thank you. What if we took 3 weeks off, I think?
I don't even fucking know, honestly. Genuinely, the amount of times that I don't know what day of the week it is frightening.
This is really fair.
Truly.
I feel like in the 3 to 4 weeks that we've had off, time is an illusion. It's like that episode of The Good Place.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly the thing, where it's time in the good place is Charlie Barley or something.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Because Michael maps out
that.
the timeline, and it's it kind of looks like the word Charlie Barley. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like in the weeks we've had off, I feel like shit's getting worse on all fronts.
Well, I think that it's important to say that things are drastically different here in Australia and in Brisbane than they were 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Hence why we are Zoom recording.
Because I'm a paranoid little freaky bitch. I'm a freaky bitch, you know?
I just don't really feel like it's paranoid when, you know, I think it's like 2 in 10 people in our age group are testing positive with COVID. So I just, you know.
It's like people with
That's what this is all about, by the way. It's COVID.
I was gonna say it's like people with the clap.
Exactly. Yes. And we all know we don't want that.
No. Well, whatever. You know, I was gonna say I'd happily stay away from all STIs, but like that's no shit. Okay.
This conversation is spiraling very quickly.
Thank you. I've got my psychologist tomorrow after like a month.
Iconic.
Because obviously over Christmas everything's booked out, so I've got my psychologist tomorrow, and I'm like, I feel like my brain has slowly been spiraling, and then this is like the climax, you know? Getting ready for tomorrow.
Yes.
Anyway.
I do.
No, I feel like I want to explain why I'm a psycho, paranoid, freaky bitch to you. I guess the audience.
Okay.
But it's because, okay, so you know in my life I work on the Sunshine Coast.
I do.
And then I do podcasting and all that stuff in Brisbane.
Yes.
So I very much am like Hannah Montana, best of both worlds.
Iconic.
And that's all good and fine and chill and fresh and fun. But I sound like a white female influencer in like America. Anyway, that's so specific. But I've lost my train of thought already.
You're trying to explain why you didn't come down.
Yeah, it's because if I was living in one place, like the whole time, I feel like I would be a bit less paranoid and a bit less freaked out all the time about COVID. But because I'm going between the two places, the two cities, I'm terrified that I'm going to catch COVID and then bring it with me to the other place and infect both households.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Fair.
I don't know. And
yeah.
And I don't want to like, especially because on the Sunshine Coast with my family, I don't want to give it to all those people and then no one can see their grandparents and stuff, you know?
No, it's totally valid and makes complete sense, and it's actually way more responsible than basically anyone else is being. I feel like, things have gotten out of control in Brisbane so quickly, like way faster than anybody thought was going to happen. So I feel like while we all don't know where we stand, it makes complete sense to be taking reasonable precautions. I don't know, man. Like, I particularly coming here, this is a place of business. I get people coming in and out of here a lot. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I keep telling my stuff that once rapid antigen tests are more widely available, I'll be able to start living again because I'll feel more comfortable, you know, seeing people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Basically just traveling to and fro. That's most of the thing. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I'm happy to not mention COVID again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's totally fair. Honestly, don't even stress, truly.
Okay, well, so for the rest of the episode, we did mention before we started that the Golden Globes just finished.
Well, okay, hold on. We're rewinding right now to do our elephant in the room.
Our elephant in the room this week is?
It's that in the last episode of 2021, we did not record our What the Fucks of the Week.
That's so true. That's a good elephant in the room. The elephant in the room this week is that we didn't record a What the Fuck of the Week. But
yeah, which was really embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. Imagine us being stupid. Okay, so
I know.
Instead,
and like genuinely, we didn't. It was just gone from our brains.
But we did try. because we said we're gonna FaceTime and we'll do our What the Fuck of the Weeks on there, and then I'll just splice it all together and it'll be fine. So I realized this as soon as I got in the car from Hannah's Creation recording studio. So I was literally outside in my car, FaceTiming you, who was inside, doing our What the Fuck of the Weeks. Proof. Okay? Proof. Proof.
I believe you.
Well. But turns out screen recordings don't record external audio if you don't turn it on. And I didn't know you had to turn it on. So instead of doing it another time, we just decided we'll make it our elephant in the room. How about that?
We did. And then Nicholas almost forgot. Like a little bitch.
I did almost forget. No, I mean, I did forget.
Lucky I'm here.
Lucky you're here. Okay. Now we can move on. So, no, what I was going to say is the Golden Globes have just finished, and frankly, I don't really care for going through the list of winners. Do you?
Me either. I mean, I feel like the only vaguely interesting thing about it was that no one was there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's not talk about the winners and losers. Let's talk about the actual thing, which is that it's not even televised this year. It's not an actual event. It's a closed ceremony, and then people are just finding out on, like, social media who's winning and who's losing.
Was it not televised?
At all.
Whack.
Do you want to know why?
Oh, why?
I'm such a know-it-all. So basically, I think, what year's 2022? So in 2020 or 2019, I think people started calling for the Golden Globes voting people, because it's like I think it's like a specific panel of like 100 or 200 people. Basically, the people that are voting are the opposite of what you would call diverse. They're all old white men.
Yes.
And so actors and basically Hollywood started calling for some diversification in the voting, the voters. Yeah, the voters.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, this is an institution. We're going to do what we want to do. So then NBC was like, okay, well, we're going to stop airing the Golden Globes if you don't do something to work on this issue that is a genuine issue. And the Golden Globes said, okay. So they're just not a thing anymore. They're just a private event, and then on social media, the Golden Globes post who wins, and that's it. So the Golden Globes, as we know it, I think is pretty much done forever. I don't think there's any coming back from this.
Whack! I thought it was a COVID thing for sure.
Oh, yeah, no. Because if it was a COVID thing, it would still be aired.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't realize it wasn't aired at all.
Yeah, like last year's Oscars.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, it's wild. So now it's just the Emmys and the Oscars.
That is...
I mean, even the fucking Tonys is aired.
That's crazy.
But, I guess...
That's genuinely crazy.
There's not a second G in EGOT. It's not EGOT. So... all of the major awards are still televised, you know? All the EGOT awards are televised.
That's so funny. I mean, definitely I feel like in the last, 2 or 3 years, people have 100% been like, no one even trusts the Golden Globes, the winners and stuff. So I feel like people are just going to be like, well, okay, we just won't watch then. Who cares? Yeah.
Do you remember the Emily in Paris debacle we talked about last year?
Yeah, I do.
That was so fucking funny. For the people who didn't keep up with it last year, basically Emily in Paris won Best Musical Comedy Television Show, and was nominated for everything it could be, because not because it was good or because it deserved anything, but because Netflix invited all of, or if not all of, most of the voting panel to Paris while they were filming and put them up in a fancy hotel for a weekend. Oh, so the Golden Globes were bought anyway.
Ridiculous.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's why they don't want a diverse panel, because then they won't get those weekends away.
But I think that'll backfire because Netflix and shit aren't going to want to buy nominations now because there's no marketing value to it.
No, of course. Who
Well,
cares?
not really, anyway. So anyway.
No, well, I think it's one of those things where it's like this year, it's like going to be like a steady / very quick decline. So it's like this year there still is, but in 5 years' time it'll be non-existent, you know?
Yeah. I totally agree. Interesting.
Interesting.
I thought instead of doing outdated pop culture news from the past few weeks, unless there's anything pressing you want to talk about, is there?
There is one TikTok that I just watched about an hour ago that I really want to talk about. / I just want to show you on the pod, but I don't really know what to say about it. Okay, hold on. Let me just quickly find it.
That's so specific.
Well, you'll understand what I mean when you see it. You're going to be like, I don't know what to say about this, but okay, I believe you.
Okay, go. What is it? Are you...
Fuck. Let me find it.
Wow, I can't believe you came on this podcast.
Oh my God, how many things have I liked in
a lot?
1 hour? Okay, all right, okay. Let me turn the volume up. You don't really need to watch it. Just listen.
Did Ariana Grande and Jimmy Fallon have a secret fling? Let's talk about it. This all started when the user DearJane1 posted a reenactment of a tip-off that she had received anonymously in her DMs. Now, this user frequently does videos like this anyway. All anonymous, she doesn't name names, but basically the premise is somebody working in PR who worked on a famous talk show back in 2018 said that an A-list singer was having an affair with the talk show host and that she was engaged to a comedian.
I have seen this.
Have you? Okay, cool. I
haven't seen that exact TikTok. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Is it with Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah. So the TikTok is basically like, I don't know, in the past like week or so, this rumor has started where apparently, potentially, Ariana Grande and Jimmy Fallon had an affair about probably 2 years ago. Which is crazy. And they actually she has like a bit of evidence going there too, which is just, a bit wild. So again, I don't really know what to say about that because it's like, there's no proof one way or the other. And it's probably not our place to discuss this because then we have to get into the whole ethics of all of that. But I just wanted to bring it up because it's wild.
It is wild. And frankly, look, I feel like anyone who's as famous / rich / on TV every day as Jimmy Fallon, I feel like he's gonna have some infidelity in his marriage. Like, I feel like that's kind of a given considering Hollywood. The issue...
I was gonna say, considering the history of white men, the precedent is the likelihood is high.
Yeah. But then the thing I can't... Him and Ariana Grande? The Ariana Grande? I mean...
It's really true. It's questionable.
I
don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about it either, except the TikTok convinced me. So I don't know.
Fair. I really...
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, no.
Does.
No, I was just going to say that I love how the genre of blind item reading out videos on TikTok have become so popular.
It's really true. I love them.
Because it's literally just gone from magazines with dubious sources and clickbait titles like, what is it? Women's Weekly and stuff.
Yeah.
It's gone from that to TikTok videos reading out blind items. How iconic.
It's so true, honestly.
I concur. I think we're regressing as society and that's okay.
It's not okay, but only in like the broader things, It's like, yes, I agree. We are regressing as society, but like, in everything from A to Z.
Yes,
regression.
Unfortunately. Yes, I do. Actually, speaking of regressing as a society.
Fine, but... Right?
I have... Okay. COVID's a dark, depressing topic, and I want to, me 20 minutes ago saying, let's not talk about COVID. COVID's a dark, depressing topic. I feel like we can bring some levity to it.
Okay.
So, I know it's Katy Perry never really over. Right?
Right.
COVID.
Right.
But anyway, so I feel like I have to preface saying, when COVID's over by saying it's never really over.
Right.
Anyway,
okay.
when COVID's over,
Yeah.
I feel like we should reference, to our kids and stuff when we talk about this insane once in a millennia pandemic. Millennia. What's millennia? 100 years?
1,000 years.
What's 100 years? Once in a
Century.
Once in a century pandemic. When we're talking about it to our grandkids and stuff, we should call it the COVID years. Because you know how in 90s sitcoms they would do the college years?
Right.
I think that's a fun way to talk about COVID in the future, is the COVID years. The college years. The Saved by the Bell, the COVID years. Which is ironic because Saved by the Bell did come back during COVID.
Is there any other point to what you're saying, or was that it?
No, that's it. I think we should come up with fun nicknames for historical events as we live them.
Well, why wait until after? We should do it now. No,
Exactly.
I theoretically agree. Although in my head, I've just lumped this all together. I'm like, okay, this is the dark period, and it started in the end of 2015 when Trump was nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was that the end of 2016?
Yeah, 16.
When did he get elected in 2016 or
inaugurated in
and it
January
started in
2017?
2017? Okay, the dark timeline started in 2016 and has continued on until now, and there's an open-ended finishing on
Interesting.
that. Maybe
I
it's
saw
2021. Maybe it's
a tweet or a
2025. Who knows?
Tumblr post or something that said, it feels like Betty White sacrificed herself to reset the dark timeline. And I said, ooh, not that. Not that. You know?
Oh, Betty. Yeah. Okay, stop. It is probably very inappropriate for me to make light of, again, a very dark topic such as Betty White dying.
Okay.
But I don't know if you've seen online, the stories that people have of how they found out that she was dead, but some of them are so fucking funny.
I haven't seen this trend at all.
Oh my God. Well, I don't think it's a trend. For just some reason, I've just stumbled across a couple. One of them, for example, was some guy texted his ex-girlfriend being like, I really want to get back together. I don't want to die. Betty White's death has made me really think about the rest of my life and stuff. And the girl texted back and was like, please don't let this be how I found out that Betty White died. Which, iconic. And again, Mackenzie, my brother, this is not one I've seen online, obviously, but he was on Fraser Island over New Year's. And so he didn't get back with Signal until about the 5th or 6th of January. And then there was a bunch of stories of them all coming back into Signal and then finding out Betty White had died several days before. They're all devastated. A group of 20-year-old white boys were very sad.
I mean, that's pretty iconic. But, also side note, imagine making it through 99, 80 years in the film industry without being problematic ever. What an icon.
Oh, true. I thought you were going to say only 3 weeks from being 100. But yeah, no, you're right. That queen.
Icon.
I feel like everyone just knows Betty White and we all just love her. We're all just yeah, that queen.
T.
I don't really sing her and anything, but I love her, you know? Okay, I do. I was just saying that as a generalization. I do. I saw her in the proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
And slap you. Imagine saying such slanderous things.
Ho.
I could never.
Can you tell me what time it is? How long have we been going?
25 minutes.
Don't know, shot. I think, instead of recapping pop culture news, in the past 3 weeks it's outdated, which I ended up spending the last 10 minutes doing anyway. We should just talk about things we've been watching, things we've been listening to, things we've been reading, whatever.
Okay.
What we've enjoyed, what we haven't, so we can recommend some stuff to start off the new year. Because I feel like I've watched a fair amount. I feel like I've watched a fair amount over the past few weeks. What about you?
Well, you know that I haven't watched a fair amount. I think I might have watched one thing that was vaguely interesting or new, but I don't remember what it was. So.
Go on.
Oh, I watched The Social Network the other day.
For the first time?
Yeah, for the first time. I'd never seen it before.
Wild.
I really enjoyed that. Obviously, I watched it because of the trend on TikTok. But
I'm not gonna lie, your audio just cut out, and I just saw your lips moving and was trying to lip read, but I couldn't. You're back though.
Where did I cut out from?
From your mini review of Social Network, I didn't get any of that.
I was just gonna say the only reason I watched it was obviously because of the TikTok trend. But yes, no, I'd never seen it before, and I very much enjoyed it.
It's a very good movie.
It
having Brenda Song / London Tipton in it really sealed the deal for me.
It's true.
Giving blowjobs in bathroom stalls. That's what happened, isn't it?
Pretty iconic of her. Yeah,
pretty iconic of her. It was. London and Tipton would never.
Or would she?
I mean, did we just discover the underbelly of Sweet Lives of Zack and Cody?
Of her. Well, she was like mid-teens, so
who knows what was going on?
Maybe late teens. Exactly.
Whack. Okay. Well, sounds like you've not watched a lot, and that's dumb.
Even though I've only got 2 things. Probably.
I feel like you should be fine. I feel like you've watched more than you think you've watched, movies-wise.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
So you go and then I'll go.
Well, can I do 2 in a row? Because I want to just mention that I watched Don't Look Up. That came out, which you had been recommending since early December.
Yes.
I finally watched it over the break and loved it. Everything you said. That's that on that. It was really great.
It was I showed it to Mum and Dad actually. Even when we watched it, because you said when you watched it, by the end of it you weren't anxious because you weren't like overwhelmingly anxious because you knew what was going to happen in the end. And I'd literally seen the movie, and at the end of the movie I still felt like I was going to throw up. I was like, I can't do this, we're all going to die.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I feel like we focus on separate aspects of it. Because we're like, the climate crisis, we're going to die. Whereas I'm like, I don't care that we're going to die. I care that half the population of the world is in collective denial, and half the population of the world is dangerously stupid.
Which means we're all going to die.
Yeah, but I don't care about the actual dying. You know?
Jesus, you really do need to see a psychologist tomorrow.
But I feel like if we're all dying together, who gives a fuck, you know?
I mean, me personally.
No, I'm talking about in the specific instance of like an asteroid. Climate change sounds like a slow, horrible death. And it also sounds like a slow, horrible death for our grandchildren. And that's what we should really be caring about. Specifically our parents' generations. Don't give a fuck about yourselves. Who cares? You're not going to be around for it. Think about your children and your grandchildren's futures.
In theory,
okay?
Because I feel like it's really already started.
I stand by it. I don't think they're going to live through that. They're not going to have to deal with consequences.
That's fair.
And that's that on that.
Kind of. I feel like they don't really... I feel like the consequence... Okay, we're getting too deep. I was just going to say, I feel like the consequences have already started, but so many people just can't tell that they don't think they're actually...
Oh, no, the consequences have started. But I feel like the real bad consequences, that are going to cause objective pain in everyone's lives have not started.
That's true.
You know? Anyway, the other movie I watched last week was Encanto.
Oh, okay. I still haven't watched it.
I hate you. I was hoping you'd watch it before this pod. Also, what an iconic segue. No, okay. I loved Encanto. It was great.
I just want to say that the reason I haven't watched it is because, for the audience, I got too scared. Nicholas said he cried 3 times, and then I spoke to Chelsea. And then I spoke to Chelsea, our other friend, and I said, Chelsea, on a scale of 1 to Bing Bong dying in Inside Out, how sad is it? And she said, well, I didn't cry, but I would probably still put it at an 8 or 9. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time for that.
Whack. I don't remember Bing Bong dying being that sad.
Are you serious? Every time I watch that movie, I cry for like 3 days afterwards because of that.
The ending is like happy crying. It's not sad. The ending's not sad, if that helps. But no, the movie itself was great, and I think the movie itself was different enough from every other Disney Pixar movie, that it made it different and fun and fresh story-wise, because like it wasn't just a normal journey adventure movie, you know, like every other Disney movie that they have to like go get something or do something to save the one person or save the town or save whatever. It was all set in the one town, mostly in the one house, and I really loved that. I think that was really cool. But
yeah, well, no, it's definitely very different.
Yeah, but okay, so there's like 8 songs I think in the movie. I'd say 3 of the songs are ballads. And ballads, Disney ballads are never going to be bad, right? They exist. They're Disney ballads, correct?
Correct, they're good.
Okay. 3 of the songs, I would say, are some of the most boring / worst Disney songs of the past 30 years.
Iconic.
Okay? So we've got some ballads that are just, they exist. We have some bad ones that are just not fun / boring / forgettable. And then there's these 2 songs in the movie that are like the 2 best Disney songs of the past 30 years. So it's a mixed bag. Okay?
They really said we're putting all our effort into these 2 songs and we're leaving everything else behind.
Literally that, and not even they're idiots because they are nominating, they're campaigning for the wrong songs for the Golden Globes and Oscars and stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're doing one of the ballads, and I'm like, every movie puts a ballad in. You should have put one of the other ones. Anyway, the 2 songs are Surface Pressure and We Don't Talk About Bruno. Truly legendary, iconic, magical, beautiful, never been done before, spit it out, eat it back up. I can't remember the entire quote. You know the Lady Gaga interview I'm talking about?
They didn't, yeah, I do know what you're talking about, but I can guarantee half of those things were not in it.
They weren't, you're right. But yes, 11 out of 10, We Don't Talk About Bruno and Surface Pressure are iconic. So the movie itself, fantastic, 10 out of 10. The 2 songs, 10 out of 10. The 3 ballads, 7 out of 10. The other 2 songs, 4 out of 10.
Wow, that really.
So overall, it's a really good score.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, you're right. That's true. The average is still like 7. Or something.
Anyway, that's my thoughts on Encanto, and 11 out of 10 is really fun.
Fair.
Really fun and very good. Although,
definitely.
I don't know if you know the premise, but basically this house and this candle give the family members special powers when they turn like 10 or something. Anyway, one of the powers that one of the people has is hearing. They can hear everything that happens in like a 10-kilometer radius or whatever. How painful does that sound?
It does sound very painful.
Yeah, that was all I had to say on that.
It just reminds me of that scene in Superman when Superman first gets is like as a kid and he's first getting his powers and he gets like a raging headache because he's hearing too many things.
A raging boner.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You heard too much.
What's the other thing you watched, homie?
Did I go to the movies recently? I definitely did. What did I see? Oh, fuck. Speaking of, I was supposed to go to the movies tonight. Wow. Sorry, that was a complete digression there to see Ghostbusters. I haven't booked that in, but I really need to. Anyway.
Imagine Maddie pausing the entire podcast to organize her day.
Yeah, sorry about that. Fuck. What was it that I saw in the cinema? Oh, God, I don't have any
Matrix,
idea.
House of Gucci.
No. Maybe I didn't. So maybe I'm thinking too far back.
Are you thinking of Spider-Man?
Maybe. I might be thinking of Spider-Man. I don't fucking know. Anyway, what else have I watched? I watched SpongeBob on Christmas Eve.
You do that every year, don't you?
We do that every year, yeah. So that was exciting. That's
Bless.
something that I've watched.
Bless. Yep. Actually,
Love SpongeBob.
That's a good connection to the earlier in the episode when I said I hate end of year culture and hope and stuff. I recently watched the clip of Squidward going to the graveyard and he puts down the flowers and then Mr. Krabs goes and looks at it and it says, "Here lies Squidward's hopes and dreams." Iconic.
That show was so anti-capitalist. Oh God, no wonder a whole generation of us are ready to start a revolution at any time.
True, and the other half are depresso espresso.
Exactly.
I feel like you're either a SpongeBob or a Squidward in this world, and honey, I ain't no SpongeBob. You know?
No, well, see, I wouldn't say that I'm a SpongeBob either, but I wouldn't say that I'm a Squidward. I feel like I fall because I'm not like, you know how SpongeBob's like, yes, I will work for minimum pay and I will fucking love it. Whereas Squidward's like, please just, I would rather off myself. Yeah.
Okay, well then I feel like maybe you're
I might be Mr. Krabs.
You were just going on about how anti-capitalist you are.
Yeah, I know.
You know what you are? You're plankton.
Maybe I'm...
You're like, yes,
Wait,
I'm going to take down the patriarchy. Yes, I'm going to take him down. You're plankton, taking down the capitalist scum.
You're right. I'm like, give me the secret recipe and I will make it available to everyone for free.
Tea. Is Plankton actually the hero of the story? I'm thinking yes.
The way that we just had a complete, like, a revolutionary moment in our thinking, being like, oh my God, wait a second.
I love how we can do this,
Mr.
but back in high
Krabs, the
school,
villain.
when teachers would make us, like, watch a movie and analyze it and be like, see, the curtains were blue to symbolize the anguish that the character's going through. And we were like, yeah, okay, that's bullshit. And now we're like, SpongeBob is anti-capitalist propaganda.
And we are right.
And we are right. Iconic. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, watch SpongeBob. That was good. Now on to your thing.
I watched The Matrix Resurrections.
Oh yeah.
A fever dream of a movie. That was a weird movie. It was a wild movie. Okay, I really liked it. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was quite good. I would say that the first hour, it takes like probably an hour before it actually jumps into the plot.
Yeah.
Which on one level, I think that that's an iconic power move. But on the other level, I was like...
Wait, did you say an hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's quick.
Luckily, it's interesting. It's an interesting hour. But anyway, it's a movie that happened and exists.
And they're going to make lots of money.
I think
SpongeBob
it kind of flopped because it was one of the ones that went straight to HBO Max as well.
Right. Oh,
so in America, I don't think it made much.
Speaking of... Oh, what?
No, go.
I was going to say Dune is still not out.
Dune. Oh, yeah, it should be this week.
Well, I think I was Googling it before, and I think it was saying, like, DVD release is supposed to be tomorrow, which probably means it's going to be sometime this week.
In America.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I was feeling like, I feel like that's typically...
DVD release here won't be for
indicative.
another couple months. I'm even going to Google
Well, it also said iTunes release was the 3rd of December, which is obviously not the case.
For America.
So. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So I was extrapolating.
They got it in like October. America got
Whack.
Dune in like October. So that makes sense to me.
Fair.
Interesting. Anyway.
What else did I watch? Hold on. I'm going to go through my Netflix history because I'll come up with things. Yeah.
Okay, well, you do that. I'll keep talking. I did a every year between Christmas and New Year. It's time to rewatch Lord of the Rings. Had a grand old time.
Spider-Man Far From Home is on Netflix.
After the movie, after No Way Home came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
I
it's the
watched
same with
Lord of the
Amazing
Rings.
Spider-Man 2 is on binge. Sorry, you go.
Lord of the Rings between Christmas and New Year every year. 11
right.
out of 10. This is the first time I've been able to watch it. Me and my family have been able to watch it in 4K. They released it in 4K for the first time last year.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really good, really fun. I love these movies so much. Maddie, you would be obsessed, and I can't believe you still haven't watched it. As soon as I make it down to Brisbane,
I don't really know.
I'm making you watch it. We'll do a movie night. Like, we'll split each movie into 2. And we'll do 6 movie nights over, like, a month or 2. We're going to do it.
I don't know why I haven't watched it. I'm honestly so stupid for not, because I know that I'll fucking dig it, but I just can't get over the fact that they're so long and there's so many of them.
True.
But they're not even, like, the Harry Potters are 2.5 hours long. Like, it's not that unreasonable.
That's with credits, though.
Wait, how long are they?
They're really, like, an hour and... Harry Potter's are really like 2 hours 20, 2 hours 15, which I think is reasonable. Lord of the Rings, the first one's 2 hours and 50 minutes with credits.
50?
50.
15.
50.
Oof.
The second movie is, I think, like 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh my god. Is that a joke?
I think the last one's like 3 hours... I want to say 3 hours and 40 minutes, but I think I'm overshooting.
40? As in almost 4 hours long?
I'm overshooting. I don't think
Do you know what? Do you know what? Society started to go backwards.
It's not.
When
It's 3 hours
those
and 20.
movies had the audacity to be that long.
3 hours 20. That's not too long.
Are you fucking joking right now?
There's no filler.
It's a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope between a 3 hour and 20-minute movie and an 8-hour release of Zack Snyder's Justice League cut, okay? Obviously. People
So
start
you're
to
blaming
think
that
that's okay, and
on
it's
Peter
not.
Jackson. Wow.
Yes.
No, I mean, look. It's interesting, okay? Because the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I think the first movie in the extended edition, yeah, where they cut out nothing, is the first one's like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh my god,
they're really long.
Sick.
But the benefit of doing it like that is that
there is none. It's only cons.
no, it's not. The theatrical releases, which are the definitive releases, if you're watching it for the first time or you're watching it whatever, just watch the theatrical release. Peter Jackson himself said, "We spent an entire 12 months cutting down these films to be a tight 3 hours." To be all killer, no filler. And they succeeded, okay? They cut it down a lot, and it makes sense. It just so happens that they originally filmed 4+ hour movies, okay? So in the extended editions, The Fellowship of the Ring, the first one is 3 hours and 50 minutes.
This is what happens. Justice League.
The second movie, The Two Towers, is 3 hours and 55 minutes. And The Return of the King extended edition, the final of the trilogy, is 4 hours and 23 minutes. I have watched all of the extended ones. I personally don't think they're worth it.
God. Oh, okay. Oh, thank God.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not worth it. There's too much useless stuff that it gets boring. Which is why I'm saying these 3-hour versions they're worth it. Because the pacing has been meticulously curated to be boom, 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 boom. You know? Okay?
Yeah, I heard you. I just don't want to dignify you with a response.
That's why I'm saying you split it into each movie into 2, and then you've got hour and a half long movies.
Look, I think the real reason why I have such a bone to pick with these movies is entirely because I tried to watch. I think I might have lied to you. I have in fact seen 1.5 of them. I've seen the first one, and I've seen the first half of the second one. But I fell asleep, and I don't ever fall asleep in movies. I so bored, and I've just never been able to do it since then. I just apparently have very bad memories associated. Well, I remember it to be really bad, which is why I'm like, ew, no.
I fall asleep in
no.
I fall asleep in literally every movie and show. This is mostly since I've changed medications, but it doesn't diminish my experience.
If I fall asleep, I have to watch it again.
That's stupid.
No, it does for me.
Like, if I'm with you guys, I'm not going to fall asleep.
If I am like, for some reason, if I'm watching a movie and I really, and I'm enjoying it, and I look at my phone and I read a text, and then I look back up and I've missed one sentence of dialogue, I will go back because I'm like, I need that. Obviously, one sentence is critical to my viewing experience.
Whack. I disagree. I literally fell asleep during Internals at the cinemas. I fell asleep during the Matrix Resurrections at the cinemas. Only for like a minute.
Whack.
And then I would wake back up and be like, ooh.
No.
But yeah, no, I can't.
See, that's
I can
enough
barely,
to justify me paying for a whole other cinema ticket to see it again, to find out what I missed in that 1 minute.
Oh no, I don't care about that. I literally fell asleep in every episode of Hawkeye, despite the fact that I loved it.
Iconic.
Because my body just says, you're sitting still. Snooze. And I say, okay.
I'll give in.
Other stuff. I watched this year's yearly Departed special. Do you watch them on Amazon Prime?
No.
Basically, it's all female comedians doing in memoriam for the year.
Iconic.
So, like, you know, rest in peace, dick pics, because...
Betty White?
Well, no.
Oh.
It's filmed, like, 2 months before Christmas. But, like, yeah, rest in peace things that are no longer... Rest in peace Zoom meetings, that kind of thing, you know?
Well, they're wrong. Zoom meetings are obviously still going. So
obviously,
I won't dignify that with my time.
They're really funny, and it's all female, and you should watch. Okay. What else? Drag Race is back as of yesterday. As of Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's really good. I watched the first episode. I really enjoyed it. That's that on that.
Nice.
I think they're gearing up to film Drag Race Down Under again soon.
Oh, that's exciting. Love a Down Under. A Dunder. I watched over the past 2 days, the past week. I don't know why I said 2 days. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Ragnarok, and also Spider-Man Homecoming.
Mm-hmm. So you have been watching movies.
On my Marvel. Yeah, but they don't really count because they're so old.
I literally just talked about Lord of the Rings, which are 20 years old.
But we all know my opinions on those Marvel movies, you know. Do we? They're good. They're fine.
Which one? Thor, Ragnarok, what? And Spider-Man?
Spider-Man Homecoming and Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I don't get the hype for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I
I mean, it was definitely not as good as I don't really get the hype for Guardians of the Galaxy, period. But the second one was definitely not as good as the first one. But I also see I reckon that people think it's really bad, and I disagree with that.
I don't think
Most of the
it's really
reviews
bad.
I ever read are like, well, no, neither do I. But I mean, like most, like when you see reviews of it, people always put it at the end, like put them at the bottom, and they'll say it's not as good as the rest.
I
It's
just
like,
don't think it has any plot or story. It's all about characters, which is fine. I just don't think any of the character development was strong enough to warrant
2
2
hour
hours of
movie
no
about
plot.
it? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really true. Well, slash, and then the plot was really there for like 10 minutes, and then it was just the finish of it was 30 minutes of action. So I definitely agree. It was like not at all well paced.
Okay. I'm excited for what they're doing with
yeah.
the third one, because before the third one comes out, they're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special on Disney Plus,
Whack.
which is all of them, I guess, in a 1 hour special for Christmas to bridge the gap, because it's been so long since the second movie,
1 hour.
to bridge the gap
Oh,
between
okay.
2 and 3, which I'm really into. I think that's great.
Right.
I
mean, it seems like a good idea, but also entirely unnecessary considering we just saw them in Endgame. And when I say just saw them, I guess that was like 4 years ago.
An entire pandemic, imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I now need to talk about what I've really been doing for the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that is binge watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
We've been new, didn't we?
What do you mean you've
This
been
is
new?
not surprising at all.
You didn't know I was watching that? No, I finally got around to watching...
if you said to me, Madison, can you please guess what I've been doing? What if I've been watching something, it's been one thing for the past 2 weeks, and I would have been like, Real Housewives.
I've never seen The Real Housewives of Atlanta, though.
Okay.
Mostly because season 1 was pretty boring. But when I tell
So
you...
you have seen it.
Yeah, I've seen season 1 now. But I tried to watch it like probably 2 years ago, and season 1 was so boring. Because I think it was the second... It was the third one produced. It went The Real Housewives of Orange County, The Real Housewives of New York, and then The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Right?
Right, so there's a lot
For
of
those 3
seasons.
shows, none of them were developed as Real Housewives. So, like, for example, New York was originally called Manhattan Mums, and was about these mums in Manhattan living their lives. And then at the last minute they changed it. Same thing with Atlanta, I'm pretty sure. So season 1 was kind of not what The Housewives is as a show. Season 2 onwards, insane. Atlanta, I'm like 5 seasons in. 5 seasons in like 2 weeks.
God.
For me, that's insane.
That is insane.
Well, I'm on
for
season
you.
5, so technically
That's
4.
insane for
But
anyone,
anyway,
really.
go off. But yeah, it's like fucking crazy good. Not a single miss of a season, I mean. For example, I'm on season 7. I've seen every season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills except season 7 and 8. Because they're so bad. They're so fucking boring. It's like... Ugh, I cannot bring myself to do it. So I feel bad about that. But Atlanta, not a single bad season so far, which makes me obsessed with it, okay?
Okay.
That's that on that.
Oh no, now I've got the hiccups.
And other than that,
Yeah, keep going.
I don't think...
Sorry.
I'm still watching the comedy show Ghosts on Paramount Plus. It's a sitcom. It's
This
really
is not
fun
gonna
and
end.
fresh.
Oh, I watched Evil.
Oh, you watched Evil. Did you finish it?
Sorry, you just reminded me. I did, yeah.
Really, we're fucking
That
good.
was good. No, it was really good. Okay, my only gripe with the season is that I kind of really wanted more focus on the whole Kristen being possessed thing. And my biggest issue with it was that she was exercised before she even had kind of like
known.
Yeah, like no one knew, like the other two didn't suspect it. No, and then she was just exercised, and that's kind of like that. And now I'm like, but no, I wanted them to know, and I wanted them to be like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't think
they must not be. Because I also think that her being exercised, like, and that kind of working for her and shifting her mental state and all of that was enough for her to be like, whack, that was really weird, you know? And start kind of thinking about it more. Anyway, sorry, that was really deep discussion into something 3. That no one else really cares about.
Also, how wild that...
When's that?
This year sometime. They're filming at the moment, I'm pretty sure. But,
oh, yes.
How wild that she admitted at the end of the season to... What's his face? Kristen admitted to David what she did.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was, that was a lot. I've been waiting for them to like find out. I thought it was going to be Ben first who kind of verbalized it and knew that it was a thing just because he seemed like he was suspicious.
Ben's going through his own shit.
Ben was going through his own shit this season, which I really appreciated. I really liked how they gave him more of like some focus this season.
They did. I think that he got quite a lot of focus in season 1. I like how they brought back his girlfriend that's like dead twin lives inside her.
That was so fucking funny. I think they did, but like for example, we hadn't seen his apartment in season 1, and that's like a very glaring like thing to kind of leave out. So we saw more like home life for Ben, I suppose. Yeah.
Also, he's got the coolest apartment.
He does. You're right.
Does. And I can't remember. Did they kiss at the end of the season? That's how it ended. That was the cliffhanger, wasn't it?
That's how it ended. Yeah, you had like Kristen was crying and sobbing all over David, and then he forgave her, and then they kissed, which was like it was a bit weird. It was
like the day before he becomes a priest.
Placement wise. No, he was already a priest.
Was he?
Yeah. Yep. You'd already been ordained. But it was like 2 days in.
Yeah. Wow, I already want to rewatch it. How iconic.
Yeah, no, it was very good. Particularly, as you said, the silent episode was impressive. Incredible. Yeah, it was.
It was.
It was.
I think that's mostly it. Let's start wrapping up.
Whack. Oh my god, 57 minutes? This must be a record for us.
I mean, we're not going to wrap up in 3 minutes, are we?
No.
Because we can't forget our What the Fuck of the Weeks this week.
I guess we can't. Okay. You go first while I think about mine.
I'm trying to think. My What the Fuck of the Week this week is that we've been doing this podcast technically in 3 different years.
Stop. Wow.
2020, 2021, and 2022. We've made it through 3 years, technically.
Go up.
So that's my What the Fuck of the Week is.
Honestly.
Time not existing.
Definitely does not
Full
exist.
stop. That's my entire What the Fuck of the Week.
I love that for you.
What's your What the Fuck of the Week?
My What the Fuck of the Week is... Okay. You know when you like list things for sale on Marketplace?
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook Marketplace. I assume this is the same on Gumtree, but I've never had the similar experiences.
Yeah.
And then, people text back the weirdest stuff and have the loosest grip on English. And like... Sometimes you're like, okay, this is fine. English must be their second language, whatever. And then you meet them and they're like white.
Yeah.
And you're like, interesting.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my what the fuck is just, some interesting people on Facebook Marketplace, isn't there?
You're right.
Saying
my
some
favorite,
fucking weird ass
and they
shit.
think they think they can say whatever they want to. It's wild. But my favorite is when they've got the loosest grip on the English language and then they rock up and they're like a middle-class businessman.
Truly. Oh my God. That always blows my fucking mind because I'm always so forgiving up until that point. I'm like, oh, I don't know who they are. I don't know their story. English is probably their second language. Maybe it's their third language. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is fair. I know what I get I'm grasping what they're saying, even if it's difficult. And then, you meet them and they're speaking perfectly. And it's like, sorry, did you just hate me? What? Yeah.
Tea.
And people do think they can just say whatever they want. It's just they're like, I've had people just straight up, the first thing they'll say is, what's your address? It's like, I'm not going to fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's insane.
Or that guy the other day who asked me to put my high heels on and take photos when I was wearing the shoes.
I cannot even.
Insane. Yeah.
Imagine thinking you were being sly
anyway.
asking for foot pics, but really,
Truly.
that shit's scary.
Truly. Yeah. Anyway, that's my what the fuck of the week.
That's a good what the fuck of the week.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we will be back next week.
Will we? We will.
We will. I don't know what it'll look like.
No. Well, I mean, what's today? If we're having a discussion with a lady on the 22nd, that's 2 weeks away, so.
Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll probably be on Zoom again next week.
Yeah.
And then probably the week after will be... What's the 22nd? Is that a Sunday? A Saturday?
I don't know. It's actually my dad's birthday.
Oh, are you still okay to... Anyway, we'll do
It's
this
a
off camera.
Yeah.
That's that on that, I guess. Thanks,
Yeah.
dude. See you next week.
Thanks, dude.
And
Bye. Wait,
thanks
should we go
everyone
through our
for listening.
socials?
Oh, that's right. Imagine we keep forgetting things. What are your socials, Maddie?
Lady Alice 101, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter.
But she doesn't use any of them. Follow her at Harness Creation on everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you want to follow
Okay,
the pod,
Nicholas.
you can at WTFIH podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and probably TikTok pretty soon. I keep forgetting to make a TikTok for us, but who knows? Maybe this is the week.
God.
Maybe
It would
this
go
is the
off.
week.
It's a new year. New year, new
New
us.
You know I don't like that. If you want to follow me
that's
on
why I
Twitter or TikTok, it's NIC_sushi. I think it is. That's what it is. Anyway. Thanks for listening to What the Fuck is Happening.
For listening to Happening, the podcast.
The podcast. Bye.